Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and beautiful little lovelies out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you most deliciously. You know what? I hope that the weather's delicious where you are because we are going through a beautiful spell and the weather is absolutely gorgeous. You got just that heat, but you got a lovely breeze. You know what I mean? So you can see the trees swaying, you can see the sky. Well, you can see the sky, but at least we can see the sky. You know, when I look back many, many, many years ago now, then, year ago, um, you know, where I seen that country, I wish I had wrote it down that they only had 4 hours of daylight, my delicious little babies, so we wouldn't want to get to that stage, would we? Now then, sending peace, love, harmony, and bright blessings to each and every one of you. May your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected, and how I love you all so. Please take care of yourselves now then, and please try to take care of others because we are in a bonkers, crackers, and crazy world. Yeah, and you know, oh, little butterflies. Oh, I'm loving to see all the nature, you know, nature and butterflies and bees. You know, you see them working so hard, especially the little bees, you know, on lavender bushes. Yes, I am aware of it all, and I am aware of how many are swarming. So, thank you for that information. I'm already aware of it, but thank you. Anyway, my delicious little babies, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony, and bright blessings to each and every one of you. Okay? I'm doing everything backwards today, my delicious little babies. Yes. Now then, my delicious little babies, so we got the old tennis ball, haven't we? Mind you, at the moment, there's a lot of football going on, isn't there? So that seems to be the talk of the town. I've just put some beautiful little food in my little birdie house, but now she's falling apart. All of the flipping pieces of wood are coming apart, aren't they, my delicious babies? Mind you, she's had a good run. You know what I mean? I've, you know, looked after the birdie house as much as what I can. Doesn't matter how much you paint it, you know what I mean? It's always going to start to rot. Anyway, my delicious babies, so let's get a little bit closer. So these are the latest little batches of flowers that I managed to save from Aldi, my delicious babies. And you know what? Let me tell you, they're thriving now. Can you see? Can you see? Okay, so these will be planted. I will be doing something with our beautiful, delicious little babies. You know, the heat is really hot on my legs, you know, my delicious little babies anyway. You know, with my old, you know, pedal pushers on. You know what I mean, my delicious babies? Because you just got to keep your foot on the pedal. You know what I mean, my delicious babies? Yes. Anyway, only one advert today, my delicious babies, and that is Sean Atwood. YouTube, my delicious babies, with anybody not in that way, not in that way. I still got to get to that part of the fence, you know, chopped, you know, so it matches the rest. Okay. I've got to get some more lights, actually. I knew I should have bought 2 boxes, you know, because you got to keep the light shining those lights, shining those lights, shining those lights. Yeah, you know something? These are little Waitrose little apples. They're only tiny, my delicious babies. And what it is, I wash them and I cut them up for my little birdies. All sorts of little birdies coming, the little robins here as well. So I'm going to hear more bad news, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? And if you're wondering where me, what do they call them? Umbrella, is it umbrella? Under my umbrella, rella. Yeah, well, the reason why my delicious babies is because 2 of them flipping, I left them outside, didn't I? And what happened? They flipping broke. Okay, my delicious babies. I remember many years ago that what used to happen is that you used to get something to protect it, but not these days. My delicious babies, they couldn't give a shit, could they? Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you, my delicious babies. Now, yeah, I already heard about this before I heard our lovely Not in That Way, Not in That Way, our lovely Charlie Ward show, the Charlie Ward show, also on YouTube at 166,000 subscribers. My delicious little babies, yeah, where he mentioned, sorry, was it last week? I say I never need to stumble, not to do with dear Charlie and dear Demi, but I do need to stumble in other places. To do with vintage, yes, I do know all about this because I was told about it. My delicious little babies. Okay, so what is this, a follow on from Wayfair? I've noticed that the price of things now, goes to where it's very expensive, Waitrose. Not, well, yeah, in Waitrose, but also in Wayfair, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? Yes. And the thing is, I mean, come on. It's the run of the mill, isn't it? It's, what you're paying for is, no different to anywhere else. But for some reason, they seem to put, or let's just say, slap an extra price on things, my delicious babies, ka-chink, chink, 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 as I always recall, apples, what's the old-fashioned saying, never really thought, oh, struggling here, my delicious babies. We'll make that a new word, struggling, okay? Struggling here. Apples never really fall far from the tree, do they, my delicious babies? And in this case, this is rather small, from Waitrose. Okay, my delicious little baby. So, let's just get back to, it's a terrible thing what's going on to do with vintage, yes. And like I just said, I already knew about this well before I listened to our dear, the Charlie Ward show on YouTube, my delicious little babies. I already knew about it. Okay, my delicious babies. And of course, so will the buggies who were bugging my home. Okay, my delicious little babies, because they would have heard exactly what was said. It's very interesting because, they like to know where you go so they can go and get other surnames, you know what I mean? My delicious babies, yes. Anyway, let's get back to dear Sean Atwood. Okay, not in that way with anybody. Yeah, he's at 1.12 million subscribers, my delicious babies. This video was uploaded 16 hours ago, and this is to do with a dear man called Craig. Okay, my delicious babies, and he's needing some help at the moment because he needs to raise some funds. Now then, my delicious babies, I would gladly help. I'd gladly help anybody, but I just cannot do it right now. I'm not in a position. I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not in a position. I'm looking after myself. I'm looking after my little babies. I need to put food in the cupboard, and that is more important. Okay, so the best thing that I can do, go to where is advertise. That's the best I can do. I cannot do no more than that. Okay, my delicious babies. So anyway, that's the end of my video. But I'm hoping that the message will get out. Yes, a message to you, Rudy. Do, 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 do. Stop you messing around. Time to think of your future. Better straight and right out. Creating trouble in town. Gosh, I had to really go with a low key then, my delicious babies, and my voice only goes so deep, you know what I mean? It only goes so high as well, so, But please, if anybody gets this message, please and thank you. If anybody could help this dear man, it would be really totally helpful. He's getting older now. Well, he seems to think now that he's older. He's really not. It's what these putrid tell everybody that they are. I'm 52. Well, I'm 52, aren't I? I can still move around, thankfully. I'm very mobile. And let it be blessed that I continue so. But the fact of the matter is, do I feel old? No, because I'm not flipping damn well old, okay? You get that into your noddle, you've really lost the fucking plot. Okay, Mads, little babies, okay? You know what they used to say decades ago? Anyway, some of the other folk out there will remember this saying, you know, you're as old as the man you feel or the woman you feel. Well, I'm not doing either, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm not gay. Got nothing against anyone who's gay. Of course I haven't. It's just, you know, I'm just explaining something. But no, I'm not feeling anybody. You know what I do? I just do my best, because every now and again we all get stressed, but I always do my best not to get stressed. That's the key. And the other thing now, my little babies, is just to laugh at things, you know what I mean? Things go two way. Do you see what I mean, my little babies? But please, let none of us, even when shops do not want to water little plants that are outside, purely because they're short-staffed. They're very short-staffed, my little babies. You've got loads of these where you can just, rather than go to the till, just, which I've been talking about, whatever o'clock, you know, going to the, you know, the tills. There's very few tills on, but there's a lot of where they can clock your birth rate, you know what I mean, my little babies, anyway, yes. You know, these machines. But it's not the staff's fault. You know what I mean, my little babies. Okay, so I bought some water yesterday, bottles of water, so that I could go outside and go and water some of the plants at Aldi, my little babies. So I paid out my own skyrocket to do that, to water these beautiful plants. Now, some of them were looking like they were at, we don't like that word, my little babies. We keep seeing an awful lot of it, don't we? Lately, my little babies. But the fact of the matter is, you know, they looked at death's door. But I just tried to water what I could, you know, and I brought these two babies home. Put it this way, they never looked like this yesterday. They were withering. But I thought, no, these two are coming home with myself. They cost me 8 ka-ching. But you know what? They wouldn't give you a discount either. You know what I mean? So even though the plant's not being looked after, you're still not getting a damn discount. But I thought, no, I'll bring you little babies home with me and you will soon thrive. And thankfully, me flipping flowers at the front, well, they're still doing all right. Last year was shit. Oh, and one last thing, my little babies, you know where my beautiful little Freddie the Frog was? You know, I'm not sure whether she was a he or a she. Anyway, not to worry, not to worry. Somebody's only come along and knocked her off my fence. So now it means, my little babies, that I've got to go and get some super glue and glue her leg back together again. You know, which she had 4, you know, claws or paws, you know, whatever you call them. You know, there were 4. They made sure that they did a good job, didn't they? Well, good luck to who it was who came into my garden and came and done that. I wish them well for what they've done. Anyway, my little babies, so that's the video. But not to worry, not to worry. I've gone through this over the years. Yes, I have. Whenever I shine my light or put lights up, usually someone will come and cut them down. I've gone through all of it. I've gone through my lights being stolen out the front. I've gone through everything, my little babies, yes. But we've got to keep our eyes on the tennis ball, and we've got to keep our eyes on the football, do you know what I mean? Okay, because all is not as what it seems, put it that way. So until my next video, thank you so very much from my beautiful little flowers, my beautiful little baby now who is on the barbecue. Do you remember that, mad little babies? That was one of the last videos I seen on a beach shoot, you know. Our lovely beach shoot, not in that way, not in that way, where there was actually somebody who was came from a foreign country, and who decided to, you know, skin one of our beautiful little babies alive and then cook her on a barbecue. Mad little babies, the evil, no good bastards, you know what I mean? Lower than the snake's belly, and you cannot get lower than that. So yeah, so until my next video, my little babies, I'm not going to apologise for my swearing. Anybody who gets me really truly gets me, okay? But some things now just make me very angry and vexed, okay? And I will really let everybody know how I feel on the matter. Okay, my little babies, so very much love you. Just look after yourself now then, but please never forget that apples never fall far from the tree. Okay, so much love. Lots of kisses. Thank you for listening, for any views, for any likes. Goodbye.